On this week's Fairfield County Farm Page, Connie Smith talks with Jeanette Curtis about assistance available at Fairfield 211. She also interviews Henry Hoisington, Bloom-Carroll FFA president, and Sydney Burns, the Bloom-Carroll Agricultural Education Instructor. And Leslie Cooksey with OSU Extension Fairfield County has all the details on today's 4-H Day.
Welcome to the Fairfield County OSU Extension Farm Page. Jeanette Curtis with me today. Very pleased to talk about assistance programs available in Fairfield County. What does that look like, Jeanette?
So the landscape of assistance programs is always changing throughout the year. Mm-hmm. Right now, as the winter weather is here, we see a need for people who require assistance with their heating bills. Mm-hmm. So there is a specific program offered through the state. It's called the Heating Energy Assistance Program. And there's actually two. There's a regular program and then there's an emergency program for people who have disconnect notices. And that program is handled at Community Action. But people who need help on their main source of heating, and this is the great thing about the program, it can be electric, it can be gas, it can be propane, it can be pellets. However you heat your home is how they will assist you. So whether it's a one-time payment on your gas bill, or whether it's working with a vendor to fill your propane tank, or even deliver pellets, like whatever you need to heat your home, this program helps.
So let me ask you this. What if I heat my home with wood or coal?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I could get a pallet, I could get a cord of wood, or I could get whatever needed to heat my home.
They have programs in place to help with anyway, even if people, so sometimes people who live in modular homes, they use like kerosene heaters. Mm-hmm. There's programs in place, there's assistance through that program to help you get kerosene too. So there, and in addition to that, they'll help repair your furnace. Oh, wow. So if you're like, this would be a great program, but my furnace is broken, they can help with that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That is so great, because it has been, I think it's been one of the toughest winters ever.
It has been.
I mean, I like the cold, a little bit of cold in moderation. I like snow at Christmas, but not like we've had it this year. And it seems like there's been days, it feels like my furnace has run all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like that.
And if you're on a fixed income or you are making minimum wage working full time, like you can't afford those $500, $600, $700 heating bills. So this program is made specifically to help people. And the nice thing about this program is a lot of the times you hear, well, I don't qualify for that program because I make too much money. The income limit on this program is 200% of the federal poverty guideline.
Wow.
So that's fairly high for a family of four. And I think it's important that everyone apply for the program. Even if you don't qualify for the full amount, you can get a partial payment, and anything helps.
Anything helps.
When your utility bill and your gas bills are that high.
Well, that, and then as we've talked before, your grocery bill is that high.
Yeah.
I've heard some of my master gardeners have said, I'm just not going to pay $6 a dozen for eggs. And I keep thinking, I've thought about that multiple times, and I'm thinking, eggs are such a staple for everyone's diet.
Yes.
And like if you're baking a cake or you're doing whatever, I baked a couple cakes over the weekend and each of them took 3 eggs. And I was like, oh, for the first time in my life, I thought about the value of those eggs.
Eggs used to be our cheap protein.
Exactly.
And now it's like,
exactly.
We'll be having steak instead of eggs tonight. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. What are some other things under that large umbrella of assistance you can tell me about?
So there's currently a program helping with taxes. So through the United Way, there's a program called VITA. And the United Way will help you file your taxes for free. They will do the complete preparation for free. Couple qualifications there. You have to make less than $67,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You have to make under $67,000 as a single person. And there's like your simple taxes. You need your 1040 done, your 1040 easy. They can help with that. There's certain things they can't, like if you have to claim rental income or.
Right.
But most of the time, the people who come to this program are low-income folks who live in poverty, and this is going to help them maximize their return. Because if you go to a place like H&R Block or Liberty Tax, chances are you're paying to get your taxes back quickly.
Okay.
And you can even do them yourself online at myfreetaxes.com. And the United Way gets credit because they run that site. But you can do your taxes yourself, and you still get your taxes back in a short amount of time. Normally, less than 7 days.
Wow.
And it doesn't cost you anything. And they'll do your federal and your state for free.
Now, where do we go to get that? Help us again.
So you contact the United Way, and you can call them. It's 740-653-0643. They have 2 locations this year. They're doing it at their office in downtown Lancaster.
Yes.
And they're also setting appointments in Pickerington in a partnership with the Board of DD to use their offices up there.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, so it's amazing. And this helps our community because we're doing the program locally. It's not costing our community members anything. And last year alone, they brought back over $1 million in returns to people in Fairfield County.
And that money rolls back into the county.
Yeah.
It's whether you're buying groceries, whatever you're buying with that tax refund, whether you're paying a utility bill, it's rolling back.
Right. And sometimes people, they're like, I don't know if this is an IRS certified program. Like this is IRS software, IRS trained professionals. Like this is a legit program for free in the community as long as you meet those income limits.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
There are so many income support programs in our community, like HEAP, like the tax program. Job and Family Services offers a program called PRC for families who are working with children in the household. It's amazing. People have up to $2,000 a year that they can use to pay their rent or their utilities or get a car repair. If they have to purchase something specific for work, like work boots or scrubs, those funds can be used for that. They've even used them in the past to buy appliances and beds. Like there are income support programs that can help our community really thrive if people take advantage of them and know that they're there.
Right. And that's the thing. There are programs there to help. Do you think sometimes the first problem is just knowing where to find those programs?
I do think that is a big issue. People don't know they're there. And if they don't know what's available, they're going to lose out on that opportunity.
Yeah.
But there's some stigma around asking for help too.
Yeah, I know.
The idea that, well, someone needs it worse than I do, or I'm just too embarrassed to go and ask for help. And at 211, we want to help fight that stigma. Like, you don't have to walk into our office. You can do it over the phone. People will never know you contacted us.
Yeah.
And you can call and tell your story. We'll do a quick assessment to find out what you're eligible for or programs that may help you. And then we'll give you the information so that you can contact those places if that's the best option for you.
And sometimes it's not through bad habits or anything like that gets somebody in a position to ask for help. It could be an accident.
Yeah.
Mounting medical bills. It could be lots of things that just life throws at you.
Absolutely. Something as simple as bad weather.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden you can't get to work for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And that impacts your paycheck.
Yeah.
And then you can't make your rent.
Yeah.
And you're facing, it can start a really quick snowball effect.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Well, you know what? We were just talking about this as an office. Sometimes adulting is hard, isn't it?
It is. But help is available.
Help is available.
So
Absolutely.
when adulting gets hard and you're frustrated and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, you call 211.
Yeah.
Our tagline is the number to call when you don't know where to turn.
Yeah.
So call us, ask the questions. It's quick, it's painless, and there's no shame. Everyone should utilize the program.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you're listening to the farm page and you don't quite understand, and you're like, I didn't know this, I didn't know anything about 211. I'm going to tell you what, you call this lady right here and she will connect you, because over the past couple of years, our relationship has blossomed to where I know if I'm in trouble, 211 right here, I'm going to call Jeanette. I'm going to figure it out. Oh, and by the way, click down here and subscribe to Fairfield County Farm Page. We would love to have you on board with us.
Hey guys, I can't wait to invite you out to this year's 4-H Day on Saturday, March 1st at the Fairfield County Fairgrounds from 1 to 3. Come out and check out all of our 4-H projects that Ohio 4-H has to offer here in Fairfield County. We'll even leave you with the 4-H project guide so that you can take this home, browse the different projects. But not only that, We will be sure to match you up with a 4-H club that suits your family. Check out 4-H Day on Saturday, March 1st. We can't wait to have you a part of our program. So remember, it's time to join 4-H.
Well, welcome to Fairfield County Farm Page. This is Connie Smith with OSU Extension. Very pleased to welcome for the very first time Cindy Burns to the Farm Page. She is the new vocational education instructor at Bloom-Carroll, and of course my old favorite, Henry Hoisington, the president of Bloom-Carroll FFA. I'm not going to get to do this very often anymore.
No.
Senior, graduating.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you going after graduation? Do you know yet?
Not entirely sure yet, but probably Ohio University to do their biomedical engineering master's 4+1 program.
Okay. So where does that take you? What's the end goal with that? Help me.
Wherever, I don't know. It's all up in the air at that point.
Yeah.
Wherever, whatever doors are open.
Whatever doors are open. Very exciting. Wow, Henry. Sydney, tell me this. You've taught NOAG how many years?
This is my 5th year.
This is your 5th year. How did you find your way to Bloom-Carroll?
So I'm originally from Amanda.
Okay.
And so I grew up in the county knowing the program. I actually shadowed Mrs. Bachman as a junior in high school. And at that point, I think I knew one day I want to end up at Bloom-Carroll. And so I went to college, got my degree. I taught in Northeastern Ohio for 4 years. And last year, Mrs. Bachman called me and said, I'm retiring. And I said, okay, it's time. So I wasn't expecting to move yet, but throughout the whole interview process, it went really well, obviously. And so
Man, what a teacher to follow.
Yes.
She's an icon.
She is.
She's truly an icon.
She is.
Yeah, and just a special friendship I have with her. And, you know, we got into some trouble. We would get into some things we probably shouldn't have said yes to, but we did them anyway. Henry, here you are, president.
Yes.
How has FFA impacted your life?
I think the biggest thing, reflecting on everything I've done in FFA, is how it's really taught me how to lead others by serving them. Is kind of what I've kept circling back to over the years. It's really just not looking necessarily at my interests all the time, but the interests of others, and then going out and serving them in a way and leading them by doing it.
So do you feel like FFA taught you to see the big picture of everything you are trying to accomplish?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Having the vision is great, and then also knowing how to move the instruments at the ground level and kind of get those parts working as well.
Absolutely. So has being the president of the FFA been a challenge to pull all that together?
I have been blessed with an older team, so myself, and then we have 5 other seniors and 2 juniors who have all been officers before, with the exception of one. So having this more veteran team, they kind of know the lay of the land and what to do. So I really have not had to do much in the way of helping them. They kind of have been a great team of people to work with, and just knowing what to do and getting it all done.
So Sydney, let me ask you this. You walked into the school, you did your interview, and then you found out you got the job. You walked into that office. Was that an aha moment?
It was. So actually after my second interview when they offered me the job, I met Christy over here. And so walking in, I haven't stepped foot in Bloom-Carroll since I was in high school.
Yeah. And
so stepping in and realizing, oh my goodness, it's real. And she's showing me all of the things, taking me around the shop, showing me the tool room and all of the things here. It was very surreal. I don't think that it really clicked until I started to move things in over the summer and go through things and figure out what we need and where it's going to go. But yes, very surreal.
Yeah. Has it been rewarding?
It has.
Yeah.
They're a special group of kids here. And the officer team, like Henry mentioned, having an older officer team has been very helpful, especially my first year. They know the ropes, they know what needs to be done. Yeah. But being an ag teacher anywhere is rewarding, and then having the extra special kids with me.
Yeah. So, hey, let's talk size and scope of Bloom-Carroll. How many students do you have in the program?
We have about 100 this year.
100 this year. And all walks of life?
Yes. So we don't have 8th graders this year. They kind of changed up their class schedules. So I only have them for 6 weeks.
Okay.
So they're not able to be FFA members. But from freshmen through seniors, we have 100.
Okay, that's very cool.
Mhm.
That's very, very cool. What are some of their favorite career development events they've participated in so far?
Oh goodness. They have a wide range. I am learning new CDs this year.
Okay.
So ag sales has
Yeah.
been one of the big ones. And Amy Moore has been helping to coach them. They are gung ho. They got first in district, so we're headed to states.
Moving on. March 10th.
March 10th.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that one's been fun. The Ag Com contest completely changed this year, so we tried that one out, learned a lot.
Yeah.
But that one was fun too.
Yeah.
Job interview, and then our spring CDs are kicking off here soon too. So the livestock judging, equine management, and poultry.
Sure. All those. Yeah. So you guys are really diversified in what you do here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Very diversified. It's always a pleasure, to talk to FFA students on the farm page, but really a pleasure to bring the advisor in, the teacher in, and then a seasoned president in, So Henry, I got to ask you this. How do you think it's going to feel when you put the blue jacket on for the last time? What's it going to mean to you?
It's going to be very bittersweet for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I'll be able to look out into the crowd and see all of the younger faces, especially the new officer team that's coming up to take our places, and just kind of have that moment of reflecting on everything I've done. But now it's my time to pass down the torch to these newer kids and get to come back and see what they've been able to accomplish.
So it sounds like you're kind of getting ready to move on.
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely. Well, my pleasure to be at Bloom-Carroll High School with the Bloom-Carroll FFA, Sydney Burns, their first year instructor, and their FFA president, Henry Hoisington. We feature kids that do great things on the farm page, and this group of students are just some of the best and the tip of the iceberg. Thanks for joining us today on the farm page.